Embirimanar Chettiar, the president of the organization, the connected executive secretaries, distinguished persons present here, and my good friends. Today, I am asked to undertake, or execute, shall I say, a very, very, very important work. It is a very, very important work in my life as well as in the so-called presidency of this conference, which has continued for nearly 2 weeks. I had my own doubts whether I will be able to adjust myself. With the responsibilities and the etiquettes and so on of the conference. But somehow I feel I have done my duties to the best of my knowledge and capacity. I should also, before further proceeding, record here that the highly understandable behavior or reception or the coordinated feeling that Sri Embirimanar Chettiar, Mr. Ramachandran, Srinivasan and others have shown me from the very beginning. It is nearly for 3-4 months, I repeat, that they have been following me like anything, ever since they announced very officially some 4 months back. Even otherwise, I told you the other day, my contact with this Sabha is at least for 3-4 years, official contact. Though they used to invite me, extend invitations and so on earlier. Anyway, within this short period, there is a perfect coordination. And but for their coordination, I think I might not have been able to do such things. So that is the first and foremost of my duty to record like this. Now, today, it is the commemoration demonstration of the birth centenary of my great master. It is in more than one way very, very important and auspicious. You know, this is Vaikuntha Ekadashi day, providentially, which is the better day for commemoration of such a great man, who was himself, of course, he was beyond all Vaishnavism and all isms. At least he was. That apart, which is a better day to commemorate the memory of a great, great musician who sang the glories of Ranganatha, whose one of the masterpieces was Aurangzeb itself. I remember during the centenary celebrations of Tyagaraja Swami by the Music Academy, the Arasabha Hall, sometime like this, I was in the back with the tambur and all that. He began with Aragimbave and next followed by Aurangzeb with interpretations flowing and following in between music and all that. Everybody were in tears. No applause, no clapping. Those are all things of the recent times. I believe a good music will not have any claps. There should be a perfect understanding with the musician and the audience. I sing for myself, you hear for yourself. If that is there, it's all right. With some perhaps inconveniences. That is inevitable. Now then, what I propose to do this morning, please, I will have my entire plan before you. I intend giving you, Mr. Parsardi has already done a sort of biographical background. Within the short time, roughly an hour or so, and the rest of formalities follow, I should be able to give you a small picture of his personality. I am not going to catalog things. For reference sake, there is one gentleman, Varadadasa, who has written some verses. I may utilize one or two, perhaps, or I will just have it open or closed. It is material for me. What I suggest is, I would like to project the personality first. Then the way in which he handled the music. And the third part, his compositions. I think I will be complete by that. Now, of course, it is a known fact that I came to Kalakshetra as a young man with some musical background. And may I say, when I first saw him, though I have heard of him a bit earlier, my first impression was, I never knew about his music and all that. In the old puja hall, Shankaran sir was there, Amma was there. My first impression was, I saw a great man sitting there, that's all. I never knew about music. Then followed his concerts. Even then I could not follow him properly. But when he came to class, it was a class. It was a class by itself. It is not the ordinary classroom. We were having no fans, no lights, perhaps. It was a cottage-like thing. No attraction. But our attraction, mutual attraction, was very significant. There was something like a magnetic. North and south pole we were. Like poles repel rather. Unlike poles attract. That was the situation. I was very, very, very anxious. I think he was also anxious to have somebody, perhaps, to handle over. So, what I say is, these are all things providential. And somehow, I think, I may be able to give you some idea of his music. Now, Parsardi again was referring to tape record. I am a bit unfavorable or even attackable for that project. I don't believe in tape records. Nowadays, the tendency is that even though they don't believe in their gurus, they believe completely in tape records. They even worship Dhubadi Vaharati. Because they think the musician is there, the art is there. Nothing doing. It's all a mechanical production. If tapes were alive in those days, in my master's days, I am sure that nobody will be able to follow his music. Without understanding the musician, how can I understand the music? Please tell me. Music is something coming from the person. It cannot be impersonal, it is personal. Art is personal first. Without knowing the musician, you cannot understand the music. That is what is going on nowadays. Yesterday I just hinted there in the Music Academy, whether people liked it or not, I don't know. What is the press going on now? They are pressing the musician. The press is not intended to press the musician, but to expand the musician. Yes. Constructive criticism. You tell me please, whether in public or private, oh Mr. Ramanathan, you are doing this. I'll admit. You tell me you are not looking to your health, perhaps. You are drinking so much of Horlicks. All right. I will try to reduce. At least I will take diluted things. Plus, don't blame me for music. Don't blame me for mannerism or ism and all that. Because anybody will have his own mannerism, even in writing, even in speech. Can you welcome a person? Wango. Depending upon the nature of the person, you will have your own emotions and hand ways and all that. When a person is come, supposing he's an unexpected person, after a long time you are meeting, oh, you will jump up. Oh, come, wah. You can't be sitting like a statue. That is the case in ordinary life. What is music after all? Is it ordinary speech? It comes through sound. Sound, it is not ordinary sound. I can speak in an ordinary voice. I can speak in a deep voice. I can sing in an ordinary voice. I can sing in a deepened voice. Still deepened voice and so on. Now I will speak, wango. You see the difference? Then I can sing, Devi Meenakshi me mudam, Dehi me sadatam, Ambhokis. Compulsory retirement should be given. No other way. Nowadays, compulsory retirement is given for poor people. They suffer a lot, I believe. I don't look to papers, it's all hearsay. Without pension mean? No pension. Some fine should be given. Now, is this music? Do you think that with the notation and all that you can sing music? Somebody told the other day, expressed, Krishnananda, I believe. All singing is not music. It is a verdict of some great thinker. I think K. Chandrasekharan said like that. All singing is not music. Even the bird sing, even the child sings in its own way. That is very pleasant to the parents and the nearest relatives. It is not music. If music is not properly done, it will be music. You will become sick. Now, what was my master doing? And you will ask, what have we learned from him? Naturally, nowadays, you will think, oh, M.D. Ramana, he is acclaimed as Tiger's representative, this, that, and so on. Of course. What is your master's music? Now I should assess, because I have come to that stage. This is centenary. Next day, I don't know whether people have the memory of my master or myself. So let me take this opportunity. What was my master? What was the difference between his music and others? First and foremost, the voice. People are in a very, very bad assessment that he had a very bad voice. Today I tell you, his voice was one of the most wonderful voices. Certain times it was so majestic and all that, due to age or due to some handicaps, it might be a bit lessened in the Asar Shuddham. But believe me, can you hear this tambura for 2 hours? Or even for 10 minutes? I tuned the tambura perfectly well for 10 minutes. Shall I continue for 3 hours? That's a different matter. Voice is something. I first mentioned voice. Something is to follow. Mere voice won't do. What I meant was, all voices are not musical voices. Here again. His voice was best suited for a very majestic manly music. Tistai, Bigusugu, Gananaya Desha, all these are foreign matters now. There is music everywhere. What is Bigusugu? What is Gananayam? When I make myself fatten, is it Ganam? I can put on some Hawaiian jibbas. That won't be Ganam. Ganam is in outlook as well as in the voice. Supposing these things were evident from his very, very Swaravali and Geetam. These are trademarks. Those musicians, his contemporaries, earlier, juniors, all those people worshipped him as, yesterday I told you, Manasika Gurus. He was called or respected as musician not by any courtesy, I say. It was a fact of facts. Even yesterday, Mr. Ramanathan was saying, I mean, K.S. Narayan Swami used to say, in discussions, when Muttiah Badar or some great musician was in his opposite side, in those days, Raga Lakshmana was like a Vakil's argument. When my master sang something and, spoke something and sang accordingly, they used to feel, it seems, நம்ம என்னமா பண்ண முடியும், அந்த மனுஷன் பேசி பாடி விட்டா அதுதான் சுரூபம் நமக்கு தெரியுது, நம்ம பேசலாம் மறந்து போயிடுறது. They forgot their own standpoint. That was the majesty and magnetism of the music. Perhaps after a few minutes or 5 minutes, they might say, oh, that's a different matter. Music is a thing usually which will melt at the moment, melt your mind rather, not melt you, sorry. But sometimes you may solidify by your own temperature. But if you are able to retain that molten stage by your jnana, then you can retain some music. And that should be done incessantly. And if a student of music continues in that molten stage always, almost, after observing, after absorbing, after assimilating, after making the thing his own, and when the proper thing comes to for his expression, it is very difficult. So all these processes put together, and especially when he is on the stage, he is in the evaporative stage rather, mind you. It is not even molten stage. Ideas should evaporate like that. The whole atmosphere should be evaporated. Then they feel, oh, so-and-so sang, he made us spellbound. What is the spellbound? That is something mysterious. That was the music. I remember in Nungumbagan Saraswati Gana Sabha, he sang after the honoring of, I do not know the earlier history. Of course, I know by hearsay. I will just refer to things which I have myself enjoyed. Experienced. The first concert I listened to him, barring the Sangeeta Ceremony course inauguration concert, about which I don't mention, I don't comment now. That's Kacheri at Nungumbagan Saraswati Gana Sabha. I remember Chaudhaya played and Mr. Venu Naikar was the Mridangam. I was not playing the tambura then. It was only roughly 4 to 5 months since I joined. I was in the audience. That day, what he sang was, as usual, Kalyana Varnam, Vatapi. Then, Yantanini, if I remember, then he took Talininu. And now, incidentally, I will take up that and show you how he rendered Varna, Ekriti, something like that, in parts only. Otherwise, I may tire you. I will just try to give you some picture. So, incidentally, that way, and then he will pass on to his own compositions within the prescribed time. Now, I think I have given you some idea about the person. He was music himself personified. Music and himself were inseparable. As Rukmini Devi the other day told when Papanachivan was given the Kalanji, a musician, an artist should be an artist for 24 hours. It is not enough if I am an artist on the stage alone. Afterwards, talk politics or do some mischievous thing. I should be a musician first. And incidentally, I may do some harmless things. No harmful things. A musician, an artist cannot be harmful. He should not be harmful. He cannot be harmful. Perhaps others might do some harm for him. Excuse me, I am given a platform. And this is a time nobody can ask me to go out, at least up to 12 o'clock. Let me have my own way, please. If you have anything to say, please tell me. I will answer in my own way. We are living in a very peculiar society, I know. I don't blame. You see, any man should come up with obstacles. I don't say that we should come on beds of roses. Then the child will sleep. I don't mind obstruction. I don't mind some pressure or something like that, provided that is constructive. I still remember, even day before yesterday, I was talking to Amma. There was a time when I felt, after passing and all that, what is the use of taking up music? Shankarani sir is there. I still remember I was about to join some all-India service. He addressed me in his own characteristic way. ஏன்பா நீ எந்துக்கு வந்திருக்கேங்க, எல்லாரும் படிப்பா, உத்தியோகத்துக்கு போவா, உங்ககிட்ட அபூர்வ வஸ்து இருக்கப்பா. I remember these words. He is there. அது நீ காப்பாற்றணும். Then I took his words as the words of my own father or something like that. See, that has come true now. But I was a bit impatient in those days. But things slowly developed. Controversy is there always. That is a good sign, I believe. I don't mind controversial or discussions about things. But be true. Don't be prejudiced. Especially about art. Art in the first and foremost stage, even ultimately, it should touch heart. Art and heart are synonyms. And an artist is an artist if his heart is pure. And the listeners, the function of the artist, I believe, is to at least elevate Acharya's Padmadatte, Padam Shishya Somedhaya, Padam Sabbrahmajaribhyam, Padam Kalakramenaja. Now Somedha is very big now. Acharya is gone. No Sabbrahmajarya, co-students, they also dismantle very soon. Who is going to follow this music and all that? Kalakrama is very much limited. Kala is become Akrama now. Now, I am sorry, I am detaining you much without music. You may curse me. Anyway, I will start after all these comments or introductory remarks. Let me start with some music. In the first stage, I will sing a small composition by Varadadasa on my master. A small kriti in Hamsadhvani. And then I will follow his own specimens and like that. My talks will be very limited, if at all interrupted, for a couple of remarks. Come on.
Shri Guru Varamashaya Chitadana Palam Varadam Shri Guru Varamashaya Chitadana Palam Varadam Shri Guru Varamashaya Chitadana Palam Varadam Vagisha Gaurisha Vasavadi Toshitam Vagisha Gaurisha Vasavadi Toshitam Vadabedarhitam Vadabedachaturam Sangeeta Abhikalanidam Vadabedachaturam Sangeeta Abhikalanidam Yogijavaram Param Yogijavaram Param భోగి జతమ భాషణం శ్రీ గురువరం ఆశ్రయ జన పాలం వరదవు సంగీత సాహిత్యోది కళా ప్రముఖం సంగీత సాహిత్యోది కళా ప్రముఖం సంగీత సింహ వ్యాఘ్రాదే విరుద అలంకృతం సంగీత సింహ వ్యాఘ్రాదే విరుద అలంకృతం నాగశయన దాసం నిజనాద విద్యోపాసకం నాగశయన దాసం నిజనాద విద్యోపాసకం నారదాంశదోభూతం నారదాంశదోభూతం జాగరాజదాసభూతం నారదాంశదోభూతం వరదదాసదాసభూతం రాగాదిరీతం బహురాగదానాదితం రాగాదిరీతం బహురాగదానాది త్యాగరాజనామస్మరణం సతతమౌలి గురువరమాశ్రయ పాలం వరదౌలి